grouper. And by the way, we've seen some cool ones over the years. I remember Connor Eichenauer found one about this new thing called the microbiome of your gut. And I was like, whoa, this is amazing. Then it just kind of blew up after that. I also remember two girls who are now nurses, along with their partners too, but Alex Shelton and Andrea Morse. They did one on C. diff and how a poop uh, uh, donor, literal feces donor, could help save a person's life if they were going to potentially die from Clostridium difficile, which is a horrible bacteria. So, anyways, like there's some really cool stuff. So the idea here is you're going to get in groups of 4. Okay, can't have groups of 5. Can't have groups of 2. Okay, 3 is a possibility, kind of how numbers shake out. Okay, Catherine, and we'll go Catherine and Josie and also Matthew. I'm automatically going to put you guys in a group because you're virtual, and that's going to be the easiest. I know, Josie, you might be coming back at some point, but you know, we're going to start this, so we'll just kind of stick with it at some point, and we'll see how that shakes out. And I don't know, is Matthew the only other one in here? Oh, and Hope, yeah, Hope. So yeah, we could do her. I don't know where Hope is. She's usually pretty good.
She's not
about
on.
showing up.
She's texting me.
Well, to ask her why she's not in class right now. All right, so this is I don't know what the deal is, but as I asked people to get into groups today and to make their groups, like it was not as fluid and as nice as I thought it was going to be. So you can't type on this yet. You're going to be able to type on it in a minute. Okay. I want you to start to think about it though. That's why I just didn't open it up right away. Okay. So the idea is that there's going to be one group per system. So only one group's going to do nervous. Only one group's going to do special sentences and so on and so forth. Okay. You need to think about who you're going to pick and you need to start typing. And if you type, you have to hit enter. Okay. To see your name pop up. Okay. So look at your computer. If your name's not up here, you did not hit enter. Okay. Right. So if we want to fight rock, paper, scissors for something, most people don't seem to care. Okay. But if you care, whatever, we can figure it out. Okay. Now, a couple people, I got to share this with you. Okay. This morning, okay, Dylan, Gavin, Maddie, neither one of them typed anything. So I automatically put them in a group. Okay. If you're not typing your name, I'm going to do that. I had 3 groups of 5 that I had to split up. And so some people end up volunteering to just go into a group of 3 over here. Okay, so that's just kind of what happened first period, just to kind of give you an example of what that looked like. Okay, this is a group project, but it's an individual grade for the most part, right? You kind of have to kind of like get along, hopefully, and pull your weight. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to release this. Catherine or Josie, if you want to chat with each other and decide which one you want, or just volunteer somebody to like go ahead and type one in, that's how it's going to shake out. Are there any questions, okay, for what I want you to do in the next minute here? All right, let me release them. Once again, you have to be on period 6 tab. I've also found that some people do not know how spreadsheets work. You might have to refresh, but there you go.
Hope's joining, but yeah, Hope's joining.
Cool.
Is it hard? I think I've started. How many do you have in it? I have 3 right now. I'm thinking about Ariel's house. She's gonna want to be with somebody. Ariel. I will set our class. I think so. Hey, Bird. Isn't Ariel in here?
Nope.
Did she leave again? Because she was in here.
She was in here just to like hang out. She's not. who you see right here is who.
I just want Ariel. I kind of want to do.
I know you're gonna get a kick out of this.
Oh God. Show it to Juven.
So Jeremiah posed a question to me and Mike, and I'm just getting people's opinions on it.
Alicia, and then I saw Alicia. I don't know who.
I think it's best for Rick.
Oh, okay. I saw Alicia look at me. So
Yeah, I was like, wait,
what?
Yeah, it's us four.
I got it.
My computer.
I don't know, are we working on it today or are we
No.
just signing up?
Just today, sign up.
TT in A1. Hope's joining. If she hasn't.
She got in. She's in.
Okay.
All right, we good? All right, cool. Wow, this sixth period, you guys rock. All right, so if you are watching online and you're not here, like so Matthew and a couple other people, so you guys need to check out this video and also look online. That's your group. So there's tabs for that. And once you find those tabs, you'll see who you are. We're not really going to work on this today, but this is going to be your system. It's going to be a long process. It's not like everyone asks me, like, when is this due? No clue. Okay, so we'll figure it out and kind of as we go along. Okay, is that everybody? So, Catherine, I'm going to put Hope in here. And then what up? And then also Matthew will be here as well. Yo, yo.
We just came to say hi.
You guys are like, just like, do you even have any other classes? I feel like I've seen you all over the place. All right. Okay. So, okay.
Can't do that for your class.
So, okay. All right. So now I got it. Now I need to check and make sure, because first period, there's a bunch of people that were not even in it. Okay. Does everybody see their name?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anybody that I'm missing? I got, it's back there. Camber 8. There's no 5s. Can't be a group of 5. You can be a group of 3. You can be a group of 4. Can't be a group of 2. Okay. Are you not in?
No, I am.
Okay. All right.
Somebody decided to. I didn't.
Jump ship. All right. You're not in? You're going to put yours with where?
Who's slobbered?
Female.
Josie.
Indicate? Okay, sure thing.
That's it.
Can do. Get out of here.
Gunner, he loves
Steven, I'm so bored right now.
I do love you.
I'm just
Okay, you can
bored.
be in here, but just go in the back room.
Can
You're
I
distracted.
sit back there?
You're distracted.
I need to
Gunner,
double
did you
check.
hear them? They want me to put on my whole fit for them. That's
No,
just too much.
That's only
That's only third period, y'all.
Alesha. Okay, who else? Anybody else not in? Okay, here we go. Okay, so we'll talk about, Cody, you in? Coaster. I don't see your name. Are you in? Oh, jeez, you guys. I'm literally saying, is everybody in? Okay, so I'm gonna, what do you want? Respiratory, special senses, or lymphatic? Huh? Cody. Okay. And is there somebody else? You can't have a group of 2. So either that or I'm gonna have to, who else am I missing? Am I missing somebody else from this class? Oh, Abby Naranjo is also, but she's virtual. Okay, nobody sits there, nobody sits there. Okay, I'm gonna have to split you guys up. Okay, I'm gonna put, we'll just do a couple groups of 5. So I'm gonna go, let's go. Well, you pick one, man. I'm gonna use it. Stop. What do you want? You just want me to pick one? Ethan. Putting you right there. Cody. There you go. Got it? Can you do what? No. All right. Everybody shut your Chromebooks. Let's talk about male, female brain. Yeah.
You know where you do that? I gotta go pee.
Go pee.
Gotta wait for me.
Yeah, you gotta wait. You gotta make it quick. All right, I'll do the prelude for you. All right, so there's a few books that I want to share that I got some information from. Okay, the first video I'm going to show you is from this book called Brain Rules. 12 Principles for Thriving at Work, Home, and School. I like it. It's kind of like you want to make your brain better, read this book. Okay, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. The guy that wrote this book, John Medina, did a bunch of YouTube videos. Okay, we're gonna watch one today. It's kind of like his voice is kind of annoying, but his book is really good. The other two were revolutionary for me. I feel like every male in this room should read The Male Brain. I also feel like every female in this room should read The Male Brain. Every female should read The Female Brain, and every male. This should be required reading for everybody. Okay, it was a literally like my eye opener, brain opener for me as I found out more about the male and female brains. Okay, this is where I got the information from, like the fact that our brains change when we have kids. Okay, all of that sort of stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, I'll show this video because I don't want Carissa to miss it, is that we're going to start, and we'll see how far I get. Okay, we're going to start by looking at some pages, okay, from this book. Okay, guys, shh. Thanks. The ADD's got me. Okay, so basically what I did was she kind of like highlighted some parts of the brain. A woman wrote both these books. Okay, she wrote the female brain first, okay, and then the male brain second. That's why this is hardcover, because I didn't know about this one when it came out, and then I got really excited when this one came out. Okay, and so I just scanned these and put them in. You're like, I can't read any of this. I'm gonna flip back and forth from this picture, okay, and this picture of the male brain, okay, to these big words. Now, why not just like, you know, go through this on my own? I love the way she worded this. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go through these parts and give you my own like little pieces of information about these sorts of things. Okay, but everybody first initially says, give me kind of the basics. Okay, so here's John Medina's basics about the brain, and I need to mute this for a quick second so I make sure that. Okay, here you go. Okay, so if you want just the quick version, like Burnworth would tell me the difference, the main differences. And by the way, I'm going science here. This isn't like we're not gonna get into like, well, that's not how I feel. That's what, okay, we could talk about that stuff later. We're doing generalities here. Okay, this is like how we look at it through MRIs. Okay, so I put a person in an MRI, functional MRI, I can talk to them, they're awake, and different parts of their brain lights up. I can then map that and show you how big that part of the brain is and all that stuff. Y'all with me on this? Okay, so this isn't like, yeah, this is some sort of, you know, hippie pot smoker that's telling you some differences between males and females, right? There's a lot to know, a lot to learn. Okay, but this was what really taught me the most right here. Okay, this quick video. 47 seconds, and John Medina, I think, has done a great job of summing that up. Here you go.
We have actually taken pictures of the insides of a typical male and female brain and have isolated various functional regions. Here's the typical female brain, non-invasive imaging with a cartoon MRI. There's the herd instinct to use the restroom together, the part responsible for irrational thoughts, the argue and debate lobe, the chocolate center, the need to discuss feelings nucleus, and the ever so small sex particle and sense of direction region. Sexism is alive and well in the 21st century. We also have the male brain. It's a bit more simple.
There we go. All right. Pretty funny, right? Yeah, did you see that was coming? Okay, yeah, there you go. That's it. All right. So, although a joke, there is, let's see if there's some truth to some of this stuff. All right. All right. So let's once again, let's kind of review where we're at. Okay, and take a look at these parts of the brain. So here we are, the female. Still, we've got the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital, the temporal. Here's the cerebellum. We haven't talked about that yet, and the brainstem. Okay, here's that frontal motor area, and here's the sensory. Okay, same thing for the male. Okay, same kind of diagram. Then all this stuff in the middle is that diencephalon. Okay. So we're going to first start talking about the female brain, okay? And we've kind of broken this down into seven, or Luann has, not me, broken this down into 7 areas, okay? We'll look at it from the female perspective, then also the male perspective, okay? So the first thing is called the anterior cingulate cortex. Let me show you where that is. That's number 1. So we're in the frontal lobe of the brain, okay? Remember, that's where the lobotomy happens. That's the aggression. It's a little bit of our personality, that kind of thing. So what is the ACC? Okay, it is the part of the brain that weighs options, makes decisions. It's also the worry wart center, and it's larger in women than in men. Okay, now, most of my examples are going to have to come from my own life. So I'm going to think about my life with Hannah, and then also look at my parents' relationships, right? Okay, and maybe you can agree with me on some of these things and maybe you can't. But first of all, I will tell you that Hannah is a worrier. She worries nonstop. I'm pretty sure that her anterior cingulate cortex is much larger even than the average females because she worries all the time. When Ira arrived into life, hospital, things were all good. Everybody was happy. We had doctors, we had nurses help us out. We got home that night, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, she's like, our baby's dying. I can hear him breathing. He's breathing funny. We've got to call the doctor like right now. And I go, he's fine. He's not breathing. He's breathing funny. We're calling. And I'm like, we're not calling. It says 3 o'clock. We're not going to wake this doctor up. We're calling. Okay, so call the doctor. Guess what the doctor says? He's fine. Okay, so, but I had to call, right? Because if the baby died, it'd be my fault. Okay, but I was like, look, I was not even worried at all. I said, Hannah, it's not. He's fine. This baby is meant to survive. Okay. He's fine. Okay. Don't worry about it. Now we have a dog. Oh God, that's a whole new level of worry. Now the dog's, I don't think, it's not breathing. Okay. It's all that stuff all over again. Okay. My mom more worried than my dad. Does that mean that I don't care as a parent, or is it dog? No, it's just not as big as a priority. I'm not saying now, also don't think here, if you're a woman in this room, you're like, I don't worry, that you're not a woman either. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm not, or let's say you're a dude. You're like, what's wrong with me? I worry a lot. Right. You know what I mean? We're talking generalities here. Okay. Let's look at number 2, the prefrontal cortex. This is the queen that rules the emotions. It keeps them from going wild. It puts the brakes on the amygdala. Oh boy, wait till we talk about the amygdala. Okay, it's larger in women and matures faster in teen girls than in boys by 1 or 2 years. Okay, this is the example that I've already told you ever since the beginning of the year. This is that area, so the prefrontal cortex. So once again, right here it is, number 2. Okay, all right, so same general area. In men, I think they've listed it as number 10. Yes, right here. Okay, same here, frontal lobe of the brain. Okay, this is the reason why, ladies in this room, your brains are more advanced than your male counterparts in this room. Okay, sophomore girls compared to even with junior boys, your brains are still better than those of juniors, and I dare say maybe even some seniors. Okay, it's a biological fact. This is the reason why, guys are like, hey, let's drink a case of Bud Light. Let's get on a 4-wheeler and jumping across the Ohio River, right? That sounds like a lot of fun, right? And Coaster's like, that was last weekend, right? There we go. It's a brain thing, right? Okay, ladies, your brain, your prefrontal cortex, that way to keep your now you're so emotional. Don't get me wrong. We'll get into that later. So he's like, shut up. My girlfriend's like, All right, so we'll talk about the differences in some of those emotional states, but that's that prefrontal cortex. All right, now number 3, I don't know if you remember, but when we were talking about like this, like first 1 or 2 slides in the brain, I said we got the cerebrum, we got the brainstem, we've got the cerebellum, and then we get this weird thing called the insula. It's kind of like inside the brain. They label it right. Let's see, 3, right? 3, yeah, right here. Okay, it's a little bit kind of deeper in there. I'll show you a picture of it. That's not a great picture, but what is this? That's the gut feelings. It's larger and more active. Okay, how many people have heard the phrase women's intuition? Okay, right? Or your mother knows, right? I have a gut feeling. Okay, I don't know if any of your mothers have ever said this, but like, I just have this gut feeling you shouldn't be doing this, right? Okay, right? Why is that? Do they have some sort of special powers? Are they a mutant? Okay, right? Or is it all because they worry so much? What's that?
They just don't want me to do it.
Or yeah, they're just mean old moms. Thanks a lot, Rita. Okay, so, but it is true. Okay, my mom would play this game with me a lot, but also there's a little bit true to it. Not only maybe, it's not to say that guys, we don't have gut feelings. We have gut feelings too, right? Okay, we just don't listen to it. Because guess what? Our prefrontal cortex says, let's party, right? We may say like, oh, that's probably a bad idea, but hell with it, right? We're going for it, right? Ladies, your larger insula, okay, combines with that prefrontal cortex and also the anterior cingulate cortex to kind of say like, okay, I'm worried about this. I have a gut feeling. Okay, and so you should probably slow it down, right? Does this describe some of your mothers, right? Okay, I see a lot of head nods in there. All right, now let's talk about the hypothalamus. Okay, hypothalamus, once again, is inside, okay, this area, that diencephalon. Okay, this is when we started to talk about things like that HPA axis where your microbes in your gut go up your vagus nerve and tell you, eat ice cream because I'm hungry. That goes to that hypothalamus. Well, what else does it do? The hypothalamus is really that conductor of the hormonal symphony. Okay, it kicks the gonads into gear and starts pumping earlier in females than males. I'll never forget, there's this girl, Sarah Buchanan. She was in my 4th grade class. She moved away. I didn't see her. For some reason, she came to our 25th high school reunion. Hadn't seen her since like 4th grade. Well, in 4th grade, Sarah Buchanan was so tall. Like, I mean, we all were like, hi, Sarah, how you doing? You know, like, I mean, she was just so incredibly tall. And so girls mature. We all know this, you know, because we've experienced this. They go through puberty earlier. Okay, guys, you get your voice changed. Things hit like between that freshman, sophomore year, sometimes, you know, sophomore, junior year. Okay, girls much earlier than that. Okay, so I saw Sarah at our 25th, and I was like, just a picture, once again, just being so tall. Okay, and she came up to me and she said, Jamin, how are you? It's been forever. And I was like, I have no idea who you are. And then I looked at her name tag and it said Sarah Buchanan. And as I'm standing there, Sarah Buchanan is like this tall, right? You know, like in 4th grade, she was this tall, right? We were like this tall, right? But she was like, it was unbelievable. I was like mind blown. I was like, did you shrink? Did you have surgery? Did you cut your legs off? No. It was just that we had not grown, okay? Hypothalamus, all that kicks into gear much, much earlier. All right, here's this amygdala, and I have a video and I'll show you later because we're not going to get to it today. Okay, that's that wild beast within. That's the extinctual core, tamed only by the prefrontal cortex. And guys, this is us. We're wilder, okay? We don't put the brakes on stuff. And unfortunately, our amygdala controls that, where our prefrontal cortex should probably say like, hey, chill out. No, our amygdala wins. It's like, screw you guys. Okay, and the prefrontal cortex sometimes is like, okay, but it's not too much older, okay? In guys, that like helps chill that out, okay? All right, I think I can get these 2 before the bell rings. Pituitary gland, it produces the hormones, okay? I've known 2 people now with pituitary gland tumors, okay? Both males, and the first thing I asked them when I found out they had them is like, did you start lactating? And they said no, but they're like, how'd you know that? My doctor asked me that. Okay, because if you have a tumor on your pituitary gland as a man, you can actually produce milk in your boobies, okay, right out your nips, okay? And that's how a lot of people end up realizing they have a tumor on their pituitary gland, Okay. Yeah. So if all of a sudden, dudes, you're like lactating, you're like, what the heck is going on? It could be a tumor. What are you gonna say, Trinity?
I don't know if it's the same thing, but I'm pretty, like, my dad and my uncle both had to have surgery to like get something removed because they were literally forming like actual women like food.
Yes, that's different. Okay. It's not that you're forming the tissue, it's that you're actually like producing milk. But you can ask them if they're producing milk if you want. But don't tell them you talked about this in class. They might be like, "Ugh." All right. Okay. So once again, also this turns on the mommy brain, but guess what? We have a daddy brain too. Ladies, every single one of you in this room, okay, your brain will be different if you have kids. It will change. Hear me now, believe me later. You won't be the same, right? Nah, it's not bad. It's just, it's like, I can't describe it. Like, same thing with dudes. Same things with dudes. Okay? It's like you definitely like, you go. You should not tell it. I should not. Don't tell them what we're talking about this class. You're like, guess what? That's crazy. Yeah. That's a great point. Yes, for sure. Yeah, and it's different in men than in women. Women way overdrive. Men not as much, but there is some. Like it's like a weird biological thing that says you've got to now take care of this thing, right? And your brain changes because of it. Let's stop. We'll talk about the hippocampus tomorrow because this is my favorite. Okay, this is my favorite.
You could do it.
Bye-bye. What is it? Slide it under the door. I don't trust you. No. What is it? Show me. Is it for guidance?
What class are you guys in? Like, do you just like walk around?
But I do appreciate learning more about your family. Hey, bye. See ya. All right. Any questions online? We'll talk about the hippocampus too. Well, probably not. Maybe a little bit tomorrow. But remember tomorrow, you got testing in the morning. All you morning Heartland people. Oh, I have something to talk to you guys about. Heartland folks.
Yeah.
That's just okay. You guys in the morning.
Yeah.
All right. I'm